Did you know that one of the most humiliating defeats ever inflicted on a European colonial power was at the hands of an African army? This is the story of African battle history. It's not a single narrative, but a sprawling epic spanning millennia, from ancient imperial wars to anti-colonial resistance, world war campaigns fought on African soil, and the complex conflict of post-independence Africa. We often hear about battles in Africa, viewed through the lens of European or Western interest. But today, we journey into a deeper understanding, focusing on pivotal moments that reshaped the continent itself. Our journey begins in 1896, at the Battle of Adwa. Imagine the scene, the rugged highlands of northern Ethiopia, March 1, 1896. Emperor Menelik II, leading a well-equipped Ethiopian army, faced off against invading Italian forces. The Italians sought to expand their colonial empire, but they underestimated the strength and resolve of the Ethiopians. Adwa became a symbol of African resistance, a resounding victory against European aggression. One of the clearest examples of African triumph over European colonial power, its impact reverberates to this day. Now, let's fast forward to the 20th century, to the vast deserts of North Africa, where one of the most crucial campaigns of World War II played out. The North African Campaign, spanning from 1940 to 1943, was a brutal struggle for control of vital strategic assets, including the Suez Canal. In September 1940, Italian forces advanced from Cyrenaica, modern-day Libya, into Egypt, initiating a critical phase of this campaign. Initially, the Italians held a significant numerical advantage, but their offensive stalled, opening the door for a British counter-offensive. The sieges of Badio and Tobruk saw British-led forces capture these key strategic locations, demonstrating that numerical superiority alone doesn't guarantee victory. The North African campaign wasn't just about battles, it was a logistical nightmare. Distance, fuel, water, dust, and supply lines were as much the enemy as the opposing armies. Next, we arrive at El Alamein, October 1942. Here, British General Bernard Montgomery's 8th Army clashed with Owen Romel's Afrika Korps in a series of intense battles. El Alamein was more than just a clash of armies, it was a turning point. Montgomery's improved combined arms tactics, integrating anti-tank guns, artillery, and tanks, proved decisive. The Allied victory halted Axis momentum in North Africa, driving them westward across Libya into Tunisia, marking the beginning of the end for the Axis presence in the region. With Operation Torch in November 1942, an Anglo-American force under General Dwight D. Eisenhower landed in French North Africa, opening a second front and further tightening the noose around Axis forces. But the road to victory was not without its setbacks. At Kasserine Pass in Tunisia, inexperienced U.S. forces suffered a defeat at the hands of seasoned German and Italian troops. Kasserine Pass became a harsh lesson for the U.S. Army, exposing the gap between battle-tested Axis units and newly arrived American formations. Ultimately, the Allied forces prevailed, and on May 13, 1943, Axis forces surrendered in Tunisia, marking the end of the North African campaign. More than 200,000 soldiers were taken prisoner, a testament to the scale of the Allied victory. Our final battleground is Cuito, Cuanavale, Angola, in 1987 and 1988. This engagement, often described as Africa's largest since World War II, involved South African, Cuban, and Angolan forces. Cuito Cuanavale was a complex conflict, deeply intertwined with the Cold War and the struggle against apartheid in South Africa. The battle's outcome remains a subject of debate. Some view it as a decisive military defeat for South Africa, while others see it as a politically significant but militarily ambiguous outcome. Regardless of interpretation, Cuito Cuanavale had far-reaching consequences, contributing to the end of apartheid in South Africa and paving the way for Namibian independence. African battle history is filled with controversies and suppressed narratives. Often, global narratives focus on battles involving European powers, while underrepresenting African-led victories, African commanders, and African strategic objectives. The North African campaign is often taught as a European or Allied story, yet it deeply affected Libya, Egypt, Tunisia, and Algeria. The experiences of local populations are frequently sidelined. In post-independence Africa, some battle histories are suppressed because they are politically inconvenient, especially wars tied to state violence, coups, or foreign intervention. These turning points are not just historical events, they have shaped modern Africa. Ethiopian national identity still draws heavily on Adwa, a symbol of sovereignty and anti-colonial pride. North African battlegrounds have transformed the strategic memory of Egypt, Libya, and Tunisia. Cuito Cuanavale continues to be politically important in Angola, Namibia, and South Africa, influencing debate over liberation and regional security. Ultimately, African battle history helps explain why many modern African states inherited militarized borders, contested frontiers, and security institutions shaped by colonial conquest and post-colonial war. The echoes of these battles resonate to this day, shaping the political, social, and economic landscape of the continent. The battles we've studied today are key moments in understanding the modern continent, but just scratch the surface of a long and complicated military history. What pivotal battle from African history do you think deserves more attention?